Okay, everybody, we have our iron condor on this position. Let me just zoom in on the numbers so everyone can see. So far, so good. Basically, after bouncing off, the SPY just started ripping. Pretty much, I feel like that the SPY was kind of moving down on the Coinbase news, and then as soon as it started to get resolved and everybody was sort of not panicking anymore, noticed that SPY just decided to rip right after. So put a strangle on coin for all the other long-term accounts just to kind of capture that volatility, and then just wait for that to decay. For like 30 days out. But in terms of the SPX on this particular trade, I was deciding, okay, if it hits this level and bases off from there and keeps going up, we're going to be in a similar situation where we were before on yesterday's trade, and we're already at 50% sort of profitability here. So I decided, okay, well, I'll have a plan then to basically monitor and see if this is going to base out and push out, and if it does, then close the trade, collect my profits, walk away, right? The other issue that we're going to be encountering is, let's look on a long-term perspective, is more of like an administrative thing. Totally forgot this is a small account that's like below 25 grand. And TD Ameritrade, their requirements is that if you do more than like X amount of round trips on trades, you're considered a pattern day trader, and so you'll need that 25K as a bare minimum to do that. So I was like, oh great, now I have to move this to a Tasty Trade account, and that's gonna take some time, about at least a week. So this series will take a hiatus after this particular trade. So figures, okay, this is kind of like the last hurrah for this particular journey for everybody. So let's see here. Yeah, I think for the time being, we can just let time sort of pass by, let data kind of work its way out, and if it goes lower, great. If it doesn't, then that's okay, but this alert will sort of let me know. I don't have anything that will sort of prevent me from capturing or taking advantage of that move. As you can see, this is sort of the day's highs earlier before we sort of fell down during the Coinbase news. And then now we're kind of basing out at those highs again. So if we're basing out on those highs to begin with, I feel pretty comfortable with just sort of saying like it may not reach that, and this is sort of like a triple top in that case. But we can just let these values just sort of go through, and yeah, just let it decay. Let it bring me some more profits. Max profitability on this trade is 270. 270. So if I were to take off right now, it would be about $1.42, which is not bad considering that we would basically leave the remainder of the 2 days off. And since I'm seeing sort of a curl right now in the 1 minute, we may have to just make that decision and just take it off right now. Like I said before, it's trying to test and break out from the day's high. If it does that, we are outies. We are outie 3000. But if it tests it, grinds above in that area, which it did twice already, once at 11:10, the other just before noon, and then just kind of bounced off of it, I'm okay with that too. But here it is, trying to make that move. And if we make low 100s on this trade, that's okay. Because if you think about this, I forget how many trading days there are. Trading days in a year. There are 252 trading days in a year. So let's assume that we would be making, I mean, there's already so many days left. Trading days left in 2024. Let's see if someone's got that. Yeah, no, there's no countdown calendar. That would be actually kind of cool if that was the case. Yeah, that's just a PDF. What was I thinking? Okay. Test and reject. RSI is looking like it wants to curl over. MACD is almost doing a cross right now, but it's also planning to break out. Oh, so we have a breakout. So there's the plan. Go ahead. 140 is what I'm giving back. Let me just double check. Yeah, 140. But let's not panic just because it tested that level. Perhaps it's going to wick at the top and then just decide to fall down. So remember to not do a knee-jerk reaction. That's how you get out of some good trades, even if it was working too early. So 5,077.37 is the value that we want if it pushes past that. So it's this level right here. So it passes the day's high, then yeah, we have some cause for concern. But as it stands right now, it doesn't seem all too bad. I only put that level because that was the previous highs, and it touched and wicked previous highs, but it hasn't reached it. And so far so good. We have rejection, and we're just gonna leave it at that. Cool beans, cool beans. If we reject from these highs, then we definitely can live to fight another almost 2 hours. But if it wants to base out, then we wipe our hands clean from that. In the meantime, I'm gonna start adjusting for other trades. Whoopsies. So far, so good. Let's switch to a 3-minute candle so we can kind of see what that trend looks like. Yeah, MACD does look like it wants to roll over. RSI has already rolled over, so that's good. And as long as that volume, which we can't see right here, decides to pick up on the downside with this kind of indication, then we know that's what our new trend is. So far, so good. Everyone's making a couple $100. Not too shabby. Oopsies. My computer is hating me right now. Is it really being that overworked? Not mining anything. All right, I'm gonna take a quick gander at some other accounts. Zoom that out. So this is pushing the upper range, yeah. This one I put in much later in the day, so you're not gonna see. So is it only, and then that one. So this position is a broken wing iron condor. Took the risk on this one when the position looked like it was going to break out earlier. So this one is in a similar situation, except it has the opposite problem. If the SPY decides to just sort of run away, then that's totally fine. They'll still make some profit, but realistically we still want to be within that range. But the range is a little tighter than the iron condor on the small trading account. So far, so good. Alright. It does look like it probably wants to base out. Maybe not. Yeah. Sometimes it's a weird feeling when you want the market to just sort of not do anything. And I feel like I've become very acquainted and very comfortable when the market does nothing. It's very counterintuitive to what people would think and hope the market would do. But it is what it is. I think we can probably take profit and close it at $200 level. If we're like smack dab in the middle, right here, so pretty much hitting at this lower range right here, I'm very comfortable with just probably leaving it alone. But if we're at this upper range and time has, and decay has gone by and there's $200 on the table, I'll just take it off. Like right now it's 172. And as time goes on, this dotted line is not indicative of how much the current rate is right now. It's all about the ask and bid. And so far, we're getting to that $200 level. Price-wise, at least. Some say it's like watching paint dry. That's okay. This paint is paying bills. I've reached $200 on one account. And the maximum theoretical will be 313. We're still kind of smacked out in the middle. Let it cook. Let's see here. 205 on this one. Yeah, I may take this off, at least half of it, for safety. Let's see, close, balanced. Let's take a look what that position looks like. This feels funny, like it's not the right values. Oh, maybe it was this. Okay. Clear positions. 70, that. Alright. Close position balanced. That kind of makes more sense. Whatever. I could piecemeal it. That would make sense. So let's see. 70. That is. We got green wick on the 3-minute. Are the buyers stepping in? Potentially. Let's take a look at that 1 minute. Oh, got a little buy action going on. It's almost 2 o'clock. It may get a little spicy, so I might need to pivot out. Let's see if it makes it to its most recent highs, because we got lower lows, then based out right here. It's literally a double bottom, almost the definition of a double bottom. Neckline right here, broke out right here, and then what it needs to do is just basically retest and then go downwards. So this is a inverse double bottom kind of actually no, what am I saying? That's not a double bottom. Neckline would be right here. That's just funkiness. That's what that is. Okay, let me see here. Let me see what the other position looks like. That also looks like it's kind of off center. Huh. Looks like there's a no win situation here. I guess just close the position, call it a day. That got locked in. Now let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is the one that I need. So what happens if I bracket this? That's what the bracket means. Okay. That's cool. That is cool beans. It's forming a base. It really wants to try to push out now. So we got lower highs right here by a significant margin. And this is also the cross between the 200 and the 50-day moving average. I think this is the breakout right here. If it breaks out, we're out. And that's the end of the stream. If it doesn't, then oof. This is going to be the longest I've ever waited for a couple hundo. But that's the nature of zero DTEs. You gotta keep an eye on it, or else it can really walk away from you. Testing again. This is at previous highs, not all days highs. Ooh, in the rejection. At least I think it's a rejection. It's only a 1 minute candle, so I can't really determine that that's going to be the case. Remember, don't anticipate, participate. If the trend changes and we move up, okay, cool. If the trend changes, we move down, that's fine with me too. The idea is to have a plan for both. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white Vans. My limit would be 155, so the net liquidity will be that much. I think it's a little unrealistic. Limit would be 350. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, stop is at 740. The limit is 155. Okay. Damn, wasting time seems to be the biggest money maker right now. I'm really enjoying this, actually. I think, yeah, if I literally were to be a day trader, 0 DTEs probably might be it. The liquidity requirements aren't that much relative to, like, let's say a prop trader. So that's a little interesting. Oh, and we go down, down, down again. Rejection. Damn, this is feeling like... Oh, and we produced a lower high. So that means that there might be a trend change. We might be going down into the range again. And this time around, if we hit that range... Man, I wish this dotted line would update itself in real time a little bit faster. It does for slower options, but we're in the $200 territory right now. If it goes lower, there's really only $70 to be made for this particular position. So let's see here. Let me close this guy right here. Close. All right. Activity. Cancel complex order. All right, clear order. Position. You gonna try again, or are you gonna keep puking your guts? Let's find out. It seems like it wants to puke its guts even more. I'm closing out on other accounts that have more of a bullish. Ooh, crap. Lean. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let's do pen account. No, he's fine. Who else is in this? Brendo. Yeah. Let's take it and run. How far are we puking? I'm gonna base. Are we gonna base out? Any base levels? I don't have volume profile on this one. So let's do... Oh no, I do. It's just that there's no volume. No volume on the SPX. We can get volume there. So this is the vacuum area. This is an area. This is an area. So let me switch back to SPX. We're in a weird vacuum zone right now. Buyers will definitely have to try real hard if they're going to try to push back up. And in terms of this particular individual, They don't have much room to go. They do. Yeah, we don't have to panic. It's pretty wide. Pretty wide. SPX. Who else is in the game? Yep. We'll do this. And we're heading back up, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see. We produced a lower low just ever so slightly earlier. If this goes back up and it produces yet another lower high, this is producing a lower high, and if it produces another lower high, then effectively we could confirm that there's a lower trend, but looks like it's puking its guts. Buyers can't hold on, so let's get the bullish positions out while we still can, while we're still making some money. Come on. Replace that order. Alright, we're out there. Let's see. Let's get out in this account while we can. It was fun while it lasted. Take the profits and run. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, I wasn't too concerned with that one. So we'll see if it bases out right here and then decides to bounce up again. Do another range play. Cause yeah, there's some sweetness into this position. We don't want to lose it. Let's look at the 3-minute. Ugh. That looks like a huge liquidity vacuum there. I may be biting my own words on this one. But if it doesn't base out soon, I don't think we're having an inside day. And this might have to go for a scratch. But on the small account, that's a good move. That's a huge good move for it, because middle of that profit zone is pretty much right at that area right here. More pukey, huh? Alright, here is gonna be my alert level. If it breaks through on that side, I'm closing that bullish one. The bullish leaning, iron condor. So far, so good. We hung in there. We'll just see if that bases out or we get a little scratch. The momentum is kind of nutty. Let's look at the SPY and see where it's at. So we should be hitting at a support level right here. I'm gonna set an alert there. And it should be basing out. Right now there's a huge RSI sell indicator. Volume not really there. And then no signs of stopping on that part. I mean, the volume has picked up actually. So yeah, so this may be a huge sell candle that's pushing. Any news? No, just normal stocks falling just before inflation data. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it's the GDP report that's basically slowing everything down, which should be good news for the market because slowdown in GDP. Well, actually, you want inflation. They want inflation to slow down, not the GDP, which is kind of counterintuitive. So that actually does make sense. So yeah, it may base out, it may push up, but it may go back down again. So I think for the SPX position here, that bullish momentum may not be in the cards, and I'll close this as soon as I can get pretty much a break-even scratch, maybe even for a little profit. But it looks like we're basing out, so that's a good thing. And that's the beauty of range trading. You see your ranges, you follow the ranges, and if it pretty much hits your support and resistance level on an inside day, you have a pretty good probability that you'll be profitable. But past performance doesn't guarantee future results. There actually is kind of a consolidationing happening. A tiny bit of a lower high, tiny bit of a higher low. So potentially we might just consolidate somewhere in this middle range, which is actually be nice, because if we consolidate right in this middle range, that's peak profitability for this particular trade. The key is that this can't break down too quickly. It needs to like hit this level right here. Hit this level, and then yeah, maybe it'll break down. But in terms of the small account trade, I mean, we can still keep milking it. Right now we're only $50 away. The last pretty much $50 on this trade. I think we probably milk this trade for all it's got. I don't foresee that there is any more. I mean, we can still leave it. It still has quite a bit of room to the upside and to the downside, that there's probably very minimal chance that even if we were to break out, it probably wouldn't close like out of the money. But sometimes you want to make sure you live to fight another day. Plus, if I close this position, I can't open any positions for the remainder of the week until I transfer over the account to Tasty Trade because of that pattern day trading rule. So yeah, I'll just keep monitoring it, let it decay some more. If I start to push out of my range, then this one I'll close for sure. That one I will close for sure. Okay. We're seeing a bit of some slowdown in momentum here. Let's go to that bullish position. I don't think that this one is going to get that moonshot like I anticipate. I don't know. We can the overall arching trend is kind of upward. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Okay. And then just rejection right at this level. I'll let it base out some more. Just give me some time. But I'll set an alert. And if we go past anywhere here, then yeah, that will be my line in the sand, and I'll close the position before it becomes too unprofitable. But that's how theta decay works. Just literally as you see this time go by, it's milking some more. This position's pretty good too. Got a ton of space on both sides. So we'll take the 260. Thank you very much. The range is very well capacitized. You would have to be way down here at this level in order for you to not have profitability. Same thing right here. You would have to shoot so high up, it would be like a solid like 1% move on either side. And if we trade in an inside day, that's exactly what we're looking for. This one, not too worried. Not worried at all, actually. None of these, actually, I'm really worried about. The only one is the bullish one. So let's keep an eye on that. Who put out 9? Did I put out a close order on an iron condor? That was weird. I think that might have been this account, because I don't see that position anymore. Nope, still here. So what was that? I don't recall putting a working order on that. Which account did that? That is kind of bizarre. Oh, the bullish order one. Whoopsie daisy. I closed that. I closed it for a profit, but now we'll never be able to actualize the full potential of that range if it were to continue to go up or stay put. Womp womp. Alright, so now we have two accounts left with pretty much the exact same parameters. So all there is to do is just sit back, relax, and then just churn in the profits. Let the minutes and the hours go by, and we're in Print City. Doesn't get any more transparent than this. You know, I think maybe closing before power hour helps you avoid the gamma risk and the volatility risk, the IV risk actually, of all the volumes of power hour coming through, which kind of makes a ton of sense. Perhaps I will share that with, or at least suggest that the Tasty Trade folks backtest that. That if you avoid power hour, you avoid the last minute kind of volatility that comes in. Especially if you have like a winning trade. Because when you have a trade like this and you're in the money, you know, yeah, it's good to let theta decay just kind of grind through that. But simultaneously, what happens if there's a big move during power hour? And that's the conundrum. Yeah. I'll send an email to Tom and Bat, and maybe they'll take a look into it. Maybe I'll test that theory. We have two accounts, two similar positions. One is going to benefit from the last hour of trading, power hour, and the other one I could close it and walk away right now because the goose is cooked. There's really not much else to gain from this position, especially with it moving down like this. But if it moves down way too fast, that's a problem. Alright, let's close this position. Lock it in at basically that profitability. And then we'll keep an eye on this position right here. And make sure or should we do it the other way around? This has less of a safety net because the position needs more time to be profitable versus the other way around. Didn't think that one through. Let me close that. Close that working order. We'll stick with this one. We'll lock in the profits here. Let's just take a look. If we test and bounce, that'd be great. If it breaks through, we're locking it in. Test and bounce. Yes, no, maybe so. It's a 1 minute candle, so we'll see. Probably the longest minute I've ever waited. No, I think we have follow through. Either way, we're locking it in. Give me that confirmation candle. Make up your mind. You going down or you going up? Changing your mind? Guess it wants to change its mind. And we're living to fight another day. Something tells me that with the amount of time that has passed, buyers aren't really overpowering sellers right now. But we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Nope. Seller showed up on close of the trade. Oh. They've made their point. Sellers made their point. All right. Now, that one locked in $100 profit. Let's see what the deal is with this one. So in theory, this could go down much, much further. We're talking lots and lots of lengths further down. Like a full $20 practically. And yeah, we should still be okay. So as long as that's the case. And the real question is, do we really benefit any more? Because we were at what, 230, 235 of profitability, the P&L. And as the position moves further south, because we've broken down, I believe, those levels that we talked about before, where I said that they were producing higher lows. We are no longer doing that case right here. Actually, we still got one more level right here. So wick that portion, because the low of the day is much further down. So yeah, if it keeps grinding down lower, that's fine, but we need to draw the line pretty much at anywhere past the last yellow lines I've drawn. But buyers are stepping in, so let's see. Let's see if they can turn it around and make it truly an inside day. That would be very, very nice. Go ahead, buyers, do your thing. Do your thing. Please. Back at the same profitability, and we gave it some wiggle room. The only thing we've given up is time, but that's okay. We can wait. It's also interesting to note that you think about from 9, let's say 10 a.m. is when I opened the position. It's probably like 10:30 actually, to now. Just one morning to afternoon, and we're already up this amount with just one position, with buying power of 1,230. On a small account. On a traditional account that I manage, roughly ranges between 25 to 50 on average. And if I had all my positions as 0 DTEs and did this on a daily, because the 230 that you're seeing right there, that's typical premium per month. Doing it per day would be nuts. That's something to think about. I'll potentially maybe make all the accounts more efficient if I did a 0 DT probably at least once a week, or on an inside day if I know it feels like it's going to be an inside day. That potentially is a big game changer when it comes to maximizing your profitability. And again, I did that research earlier. How many trading days in a year? So 252 days in a year. So if you did 200, and let's say from the beginning of every year, 252 times, let's say you traded every single day for the trading year, did 0 DTE, let's say 50% of those were profitable, assuming that you made profit. And then to account for the P&L loss, right? 252 divided by 2, it's 126 days. Let's say you traded only half of those days, and on those half a days, to account for P&L loss plus or minus, let's assume that 230 is typical. Let's say 200 is typical of what the P&L that you'll gain from that particular position. $200, and then you lose $200 too on the other half. So in essence, it's $100. So 126 times $100. That's an additional 12,600 each year for just doing a single SPX trade half of the time during a trading year. You did it daily, make it your job. And again, you lose one day, you win one day, it cancels out on a single trade, just one trade. 25,200. Not too shabby. It's basically half of a typical median working class. I wouldn't say median. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna judge, but let's say, you know, a typical, you know, median salary is like 50 grand. There's half of it just doing that one trade every single day. And with Tasty Trade, you can actually set up stop losses on an option like chain with 4 legs, both for profitability and for stop loss in and itself. Granted that your stop loss is going to trigger more likely, which is a little bit not what you want, because just like with the bullish leaning iron condor, the broken wing iron condor, you don't want that to happen too often. Because you can easily be in a red zone, but your P&L loss isn't like actualized. Just like the little, what I mean is like this dotted line right here. This dotted line right here can say, hey, you are negative, right? This is the dotted line. The P&L is in the parentheses, so that's a negative. So I could be exactly here on the position, and it would say it's a negative $71.47 loss. And if I set my stop loss at $70, it'll trigger to go ahead and close that position. And I guess if you're not paying attention to it, or if you're not going to actively manage it, that may be fine. But realistically speaking, the position may swing out just to swing back in on you, and you'll never be able to get that chance. You never really know unless you actively manage it. You'd probably have to like figure out maybe a P&L stop loss somewhere around the ends of the wings. This makes a little bit more sense. You move it towards the end of the wings where you know it's like already out of the money, whether it's all the time is decayed or not, and then consider that your stop loss. Yeah, that would make more sense. Or just accept that the total amount of profitability that you're going to get, you double that basically, and say, I will be willing to gain or lose based on those odds. Yeah, actually that kind of makes even more sense, given that I just said that you could lose one trade and you could gain one trade, so a 1-to-1 ratio. And if you lose 50% or gain 50% of the time, right, then it kind of teeters out. Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense for people who don't have the time to manage it. All right, so we are at lower than we were before, but not too low. Kind of testing this area once again. I'll just put an alert there. We break lower than that. The only support levels we got is this one, but that's only one confirmation there. And then I would say this down here is your biggest level. So we shall see where we end up going. And we effed around and we found out, and We're still at the same profitability as if we were to close earlier. But so far the trend is to the downside. That I can say for the last hour. All right, peaked out right here. Dead cat bounce. Another one. So do I really want to sort of see this through to get another 35 bucks? Or just take my profits. Either decisions are totally fine, because again, zoom out, our maximum wing is well below those levels. We would have to be making a 3-day low in order for me to be losing out on this trade. So I think I'll be totally fine. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some food. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna utilize my time wisely. So the time is more valuable here than $35. I'm gonna set it so that at a $240 profit, which would be a $30. Oh, we're already there. Okay, fine. Let's say $25 debit back will be my out. If it hits, it hits it. If it doesn't, then that's fine. And yeah, we'll end the stream here.